and incorporate universal design for learning to address the needs of all diverse learners. So let's discuss first, by law, who gets assistive technology. We talked about all this assistive technology and who legally can have access to this and be provided access to this. Everyone has the ability to buy assistive technology, but who do we have to provide it for? According to IDEA, every student eligible for special education is entitled to have assistive technology considered, either as an accommodation or learning support in their IEP. And that's every year when it's written or renewed. So every year we should be looking for those students if there's an assistive technology that would assist them in being more independent, in being able to show their abilities, and in being able to really show what they know and communicate with others. What makes assistive technology state-of-the-art? Really, it's technology which moves all people forward, helping them to interact and communicate with others and to have self-determination. That's what's considered state-of-the-art assistive technology devices. So we're looking at technology that makes them more independent, allows for better communication, allows for better interaction, and really provides them with a feeling of success. So the National Center for Technology Innovation in 2010 created a report about assistive technology. In that report, NCTI said, they called the report Unleashing the Power of Innovation for Assistive Technology. And really what they did is they gathered the opinions of more than 65 people from all different areas of academia and educational technology industry and professional associations, and also some government employees. And the results of this came up with 5 state-of-the-art assistive technology, things that are present in every form of assistive technology that's considered state-of-the-art. The first one is that all assistive technology is convergent, which means it's able to run in multiple communication services at a single time. So, for example, you can run Bookshare at the same time that you're able to run your basic accessibility features in Windows 7, or you can run iSign pictures and iPrompts at the same time that you're able to run your iPhone technology applications. So we want it to be convergent. Next is customized to specific learners' needs, or that universal design for learning is a part of it. Making sure assistive technology is designed to meet the needs of each individual user. So making sure that assistive technology has multiple means of representation, action and expression, and engagement. Third, research and evidence-based design. So studies of assistive technology found that it's effective when we focus on utility, the ability of them to use it effectively, the features that are involved in the assistive technology, how interested the person is in that piece of assistive technology, how usable it is, how much they're able to use it and how often, and then the population that's using it, the user population that the assistive technology design took into account that population. Number 4 is portability, really to promote that independence. And that's the ability to move from one to the next quickly, to take it with you. Again, iPad, laptops, netbooks, Androids, iPhones, jump drives, all of that helps with that portability. And finally, number 5 is interoperability. That's the ability of 2 or more systems or components to exchange information and use that information. So that would be, for example, Windows working with the Mac, being able to save things in a cloud so that you can get that information from any machine. Syncing 2 devices, when you put one device up to another and the information is transferred just by bumping devices, that would be considered interoperability. One imperative thing that all of these assistive technology devices have to have is they have to be simple. Simple to learn, to use, to integrate, and to support. That's really, according to the study, the key to success is simplicity. So what is the most effective way to use technology as intervention? Really, the most effective way is to make sure that you're including methods for problem solving and methods for metacognition to really help them to know about their own learning. So we talked about metacognition in the past course, but let's just talk about problem solving here. One great quote from Now I Get It, Strategies for Building Confident and Competent Mathematicians was, teaching problem solving strategies is really the process of helping students realize what they do as they solve problems, as well as helping them discover ways they could do it more efficiently. So assistive technology should be breaking down tasks into steps for students and helping them to see the steps that it takes to get the answer. That is very helpful when we're looking at an assistive technology device, is that it provides multiple steps to help them to see how to get to their final goal. So let's look for a second at disabilities. Right now, the disability category that you're most likely to have in your classroom is specific learning disabilities. Even back in 2007, when disability categories were created into percentages of the total students served under IDEA, specific learning disabilities were 46%. That's still high today. Speech and language was 20, other health impairments 11. Back then, mental retardation was a category. That is no longer a category, but it was 8% then. Emotional disturbance was 6%, autism 4%, multiple disabilities 2%, hearing impairments was 1%, orthopedic impairments another 1%, visual impairments 1%. Traumatic brain injury and deaf blindness were considered 0% because they didn't equal the exact 1%. However, that number has been raised in the recent years. But again, this is looking at when IDEA went into place in 2007, when they were looking at the percentages, this is what they saw. So specific learning disabilities was the #1 category. So what we're going to discuss today is assistive technology specifically for students with specific learning disabilities. So let's talk about what a learning disability is. Learning disability really affects any acquisition, retention, understanding, organization, and or use of verbal and nonverbal or nonverbal, depending on the student, information. So again, that learning disability is going to interfere with the attainment and use of one or more of these skills. Oral language, that can be, it interferes with either listening, speaking, or understanding oral language. With reading, either decoding and being able to read fluently or in comprehension. In written language, in either spelling or written expression. In mathematics, it involves both computation and problem solving. Organizational skills, social perception, social interaction. Learning disabilities interfere with one of these areas in order to be considered a learning disability. It can interfere with multiple areas. For example, you may have a student who has both dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and dyslexia, where that would interfere with both reading, decoding, spelling, written language, and computation and problem solving. So they may interfere with more areas, but it at least has to interfere with one in order to be considered a specific learning disability. So learning disabilities are characterized by, again, unexpectedly low academic achievement based on their IQ scores. We don't do IQ scores as frequently anymore. Right now what we say is characterized as unexpectedly low academic achievement based on their ability. So achievement that is sustainable only by extremely high levels of effort and support would be considered students with learning disabilities. And they're due to genetic, congenital, or neurobiological factors. Frequently, learning disabilities tend to coexist with attentional, behavioral, emotional, sensory, or medical conditions. And students with learning disabilities, we always have to remember, have average abilities and no intellectual disabilities. So they wouldn't be considered under the other areas of low IQ scores. So abstract thinking can be extremely hard for students with learning disabilities as it requires them to organize clues or ideas and draw conclusions from those clues and ideas. So to become effective in this area, students need a lot of practice with visualizing, organizing information, recording information, simplifying a large task into small steps, making sense of organized data, inferring, and drawing appropriate conclusions. So when you're looking at technology, all technology, not just assistive technology devices, but all technology, when you're looking at technology for students with learning disabilities, you want to look and see, does it help them make that visual picture in their head? Does it provide that graphic organizer to help them organize information? Does it help them simplify by breaking into steps a story problem? Does it show them a video, like iknowthat.com has the videos of story problems where they can see the specific steps? All of those are what we're looking for. Does it provide inference? Does it tell a story and ask you what you think is going to come next? Does it help you to make appropriate conclusions? That's what you're looking for when you're looking at technology for these students. And again, remember to be truly practicing universal design for learning, which is what it shows the best assistive technology does, is it has a UDL element. It has to provide multiple means of representation, multiple means of action and expression, and multiple means of engagement. Let's look at a few of the facts right now. Those with multiple disabilities tend to use assistive technology most frequently. That was 27.7%, and then followed by students with learning disabilities, which was 16.7%. Multiple disabilities here means two disabilities occurring at the same time, such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder at the same time that you have a learning disability, or autism spectrum disorder at the same time that you have a sensory processing disorder. Orthopedic impairments was 14.6%, and students were more likely to use assistive technology in special education classrooms. That was 40% of their technology assistive use was used in a special education classroom. Only 19% in the resource room, 11.5% in the general ed room, and 2.3% in the home. We need that to change. We need the number one place for them to be using assistive technology to be the general education classroom and their home, because that's where they're going to be using it independently to really access the general education curriculum. For students with learning disabilities, only an estimated 25 to 35% really use technology for instruction and learning. That also needs to change. That should be the number one reason for using that assistive technology, is for instruction and learning. In a study of AT services in 14 states, researchers found that only 40% of what's listed on an IEP really falls in the federal guidelines of correct assistive technology use. That needs to change. One of the reasons people believe that this is occurring is because we're not getting trained on assistive technology devices. So what we need to do is make sure that we can get expert-led training on lesson planning and how to integrate that assistive technology into our teaching. We can do that even if our district doesn't provide that service. We can do that through services such as TSN, which is on your question that you're answering this week. They're a great free service in our state. There are a number of free services that will help us, but you can also use places like YouTube and TeacherTube. Just type in the assistive technology device and see how teachers around the world are using it. So where do we go from here? Well, let's look at assistive technology devices, really what's proven to be the most effective 10 components. That device uses specific skill instruction, direct and explicit instruction. It provides instruction in those compensatory skills or strategies, instruction in self-advocacy, metacognition, repetitive practice, providing that multiple opportunities to manipulate learning, multiple means of expression representation in UDL, and it's motivating. That is what needs to be present in order to really feel that assistive technology device is helping students with specific learning disabilities. So let's look real quick at up-and-coming technologies in the classroom in 2024. Right now, a report came out that says that machine learning is really going to be underway in 2014, and machine learning refers to computers that can act and react without being explicitly programmed to do so. So computer scientists and engineers are really building machines now that not only retrieve and interpret data, but they also learn from that data. And Exapiki is one of an example, but I'm not going to go into depth because we only have a minute here. Another one is electrovibration technology, and that allows students to feel certain textures through the tablet and screen. Both Disney and the Finnish company are working to make those advancements available to us soon. GPS-based technology is coming into the classroom. One is created by a Kansas father who worked for Garmin for a little while. He created a bracelet that allows a student or a child to be outside playing and for the teacher or parent to see where they are at all points in time. And then if something were to happen, they can push a button and it will immediately text the student or the teacher or parent to let them know they're in trouble. We're also thinking of using location intelligence for field trips and research projects. For example, you can put in your preferences and then that location technology could take you on a guided tour of a museum or of any real location. So that's what's coming up. The next two videos you're going to watch, one is of iPads with students with autism, and the next is of a friend of mine. Her name is Lee Stickle, and she works for Kansas Instructional Support Network. What I want you to take from that is that even if we have all the technology in the world, what really matters is that we have a significant relationship with our students, because really no significant learning occurs without that significant relationship. We need to remember that people matter, it's not about us, and we need to do just the right thing in front of us. It's been a joy to have you all in class, and I hope you enjoy the next two videos. Just click on the link and it should take you directly